Hey, what's going on, guys? Archer Mark here, and I'm back with another figure review. Today I have another figure from the Amazon exclusive Marvel Legends 4-pack. This is the Black Widow figure. As I said in the previous vids, I obviously cannot do all 4 figures in one video, just be too long, so this is being broken up. I'll give you a closer look at this figure in a moment. Just want to show one thing with the packaging. Again, I went into more detail on the Thor review, so if you want to see that, but just this is the Black Widow, just to show you her one sentence. Black Widow is an elite spy recruited to fight on the side of the Avengers. So that's it. That's as far as bios are concerned. So just want to make sure I showed you that. Okay, so this figure, for the most part, is a repaint of the Captain America Winter Soldier figure, and it's still a really good figure. That figure was really good, and so was this. So it's, if you didn't get that figure, or maybe you like this one more, I don't know, you want both versions, whatever, here's another opportunity to have a 6-inch movie version of the Black Widow. So we'll just give you, come right in. Now this is just to give you a look here, and pretty good facial sculpt. The lipstick, or the color on the lips, might be a little bright, little too much there, but over that I think the facial sculpt is still pretty good. And we'll just go down. I think I'm going to show you a comparison to the other figure as well in a few moments, but just to give you down, you can see mostly, black bodysuit, and we have the silver on the zipper and buckles, and there's the belt buckle there with the Black Widow logo. Same belt with the sculpted guns. She does not come with any pistols. Okay. Of course, the biggest difference on this outfit are the touches of blue paint that we see on the knees and the side, up the legs and the thigh, and on, see, we got the elbows, and on the sides of the body, and all along the arms. We do have her little stingers, the Black Widow stingers. Little silver paint there and a little red paint there. Looking pretty good. Okay. One thing that is interesting, if you can make out there, sculpted in, there's kind of a circle right there on the shoulder, which on the previous figure has the S.H.I.E.L.D logo on it, and this one does not. And I find that interesting. I wish they would have put that on here. That would have made this figure a little closer to the other one, but not a huge deal, but I would have preferred it. And we go on the back again, pretty much all black on the back, up the legs and the rest of the suit. The hair is sculpted really nice. It's same, or one of the same as one of the hair sculpts that we got with the previous figure. We got a shorter hair and a head sculpt with longer hair, and this is the shorter one. And this is one thing I think they did a lot better job with the other one. You see little variations of red and a little bit black in there, kind of darker red, little highlights, and it just looks really good. Okay. And she does come with the 2 accessories. Still no guns, but she's got these 2 batons, which are nicely sculpted. It's black, and then you have the tips are blue, and they fall out of her hands fairly well. She doesn't have a super tight grip on these, as you just saw there. And I do like the way it's blue, and as you go down, it sort of fades down into the handle of the baton. Okay. And we'll just put her down. I'll just, since it did fall, we'll give you a better look at the baton there. See, it's, you know, it's nicely sculpted and painted, but she just doesn't have as good of a grip as she could have had on them, so they do have a tendency to fall out. She holds them, but if you knock the figure over or just bumps it, just they're gonna fall out. So be careful when you decide where to put her on your shelf or your display or whatever. Watch it, because you don't want to lose these pieces. I'll go over the articulation. It's pretty much the same as what we had in the previous figure, but just to go over again in case you don't have the other figure. Head is on a nice ball joint, and as I said, the other figure had a head sculpt with longer hair, and that hindered the articulation, but they put this version on it, which is good because that does not hinder the articulation as much. So you got left and right movement, and down and up, so that's good movement there. Ball joints on the shoulders, so they go up and down, forward and back, and the joints are nice and tight. No bicep swivel. You do have the single joint on the elbow and swivel on the elbow there, and the wrists have a swivel, and you do have like an in and out joint there, so that's good. No waist articulation. You do have the upper torso joint, so you get left and right, and doesn't move backwards or forwards too well, but you do have left and right, so not bad, not the greatest, not the worst. You know, I've seen worse. The legs down here, you can get the splits, but not a full split. They do move out a decent amount, and you notice the belt. See, when I move the legs, the belt kind of moves up with it because that's sculpting. It's, you know, sculpted right to the figure's thighs. So that looks a little odd when you're doing that. Legs have good rotation. You move forward and go back, so that's good. You have upper thigh swivel, and really tight on this one. Double hinge joints at the knees, hinge joints at the ankles, and you do have ankle pivot. And again, like you had with the previous figure, you know, you do have to sort of do some maneuvering around with her feet to get them to stand. The joints on here are a little tighter than they were on the previous figure, which is a good improvement. So that allows her to stand a little bit better, but it's an odd, kind of awkward, the way the ankle pivot is, and it just, you do have to maneuver it a little bit to get her to stand. Sometimes it could be a little tricky. She does like to fall over sometimes, so it just kind of, you know, you have to just balance it just right, or you can just have it, for purposes, we'll just stand her at that. Now I want to bring in, I've talked enough about this figure, I'll bring in to compare the two figures. Go in here, and you can see, I'm going to move her arm down. Now you can see there's the facial sculpts. The skin tone on this one is a little darker. This one is a little lighter, so I think this is better there. But I think the eyes on this are done better. So it's 6 in one, half a dozen in the other. It's kind of little of this, little of that. It's like some things this figure was done better, and some things this figure was done better. Overall, I like them both. I've been leaning towards this figure as opposed to this one, but I'm not sure. I keep going back and forth. The more I look at these figures, I'm going back and forth on them. And there's, I'll show you here. There's the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo. There's on there. It is not on this figure. And you can see the other difference is the hands. See, they're sculpted more of a tighter grip, and she has the fingerless gloves, whereas this is, you know, fully painted black gloves, which both look good, but I think it would have been better if they had these hands on her so she could hold her batons better. Also, in case you're wondering, she doesn't come with these pistols. I took those guns from another figure and gave them to her. And overall, both good figures. I just think if I'm gonna choose, I think I would overall. I think I would go with this. There are things I like more about this one, like the skin tone. But if I was gonna choose, I would go for this one. But if you're gonna get the 4-pack anyway, then hey, just get the 4-pack and you get her, and it's still a good solid figure for the most part. It's a good Black Widow figure, so it's certainly worth getting, especially if you don't have this other figure. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this review. Tried to get as in depth there, comparing the other figure as I could. Amazon exclusive Marvel Legends 4-pack Avengers, and it's still a good figure. It's a solid figure if you don't have, even though it's basically a repaint. So if you don't have the other one, get the pack for this. So hope you enjoyed this video as usual. Like, comment, subscribe, all that, share, all that good stuff. And until my next video, so long, and I'll say Avengers Assemble.